Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to see a leet code problem, and the problem statement is actually a Pascal triangle. So we are given an integer num rows, and we have to return the first num rows of Pascal's triangle. So let's see what is Pascal triangle. So initially in first row we will have only one element which is 1, and in the second row we will have two elements which are 1, and in the third row we will be having the end element as 1, but the middle element will be summed up like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Similarly, you can see all the end element will maintain this 1, but the middle element will be a summation of the previous rows. So let's say if the input is 5, so the output will be like it should be a list of list actually. So the first inner list will be 1, the second inner list will be two ones, and the third inner list will be 1 to 1. Similarly, we should calculate for the remaining things. So let's see how to solve this. So initially I am creating a list of integer. Basically, I'm going to solve this using dynamic programming, which is nothing but a way of solving sub problems. Like we have to calculate the value of sub problems, and once that is calculated, then we can find the final value with the help of those calculated value in sub problems. So we are defining the list of listers result, then new array list, find. Now what we are going to do, we have to check if n equal to 1. So if n equal to 1, we have to directly return a list of list. Like it will have a list, and under that it will be only one list of integer. So let's create a inner list of integer. Let's name that as first. Let's name that as list itself, new array list. Okay, now we are going to add list dot add 1. We are going to add that element, and we are going to return that list. So instead of adding it here directly, we can add it in result itself. Result dot add using arrays dot as list. As arrays dot as list will return a list of integer, and that list will have a single integer 1. And if n is equal to 1, I am directly returning it, right? Because if n is equal to 1, there is only one element in that row, so I am directly returning it. Return result. So now we, for dynamic programming, we have to define the base case. So what is the base case here? Let's name that base case as first row. So first row is my base case. I have defined that initialize that first row. Then in first row, what I'm going to add is first row dot add 1. Okay, I'm adding the element 1 in the first row, and I'm adding that list to that result. So for the first row, we have defined the base cases. Now for the remaining rows, we have to find based on the base case we have already defined. So let's see how to do that. Let me initialize a for loop from I is equal to 1, because I is equal to 0 is a base case which we already calculated. I less than n, I plus plus, fine. Now we are going to get the uh, previous row inner list. Like let's say this is the list. So previous row is nothing but let's say if we are in current row, this one we have to get the previous row. So how to calculate the previous row is it will be a list of integer. So I'm creating a list of integer. I'm naming as previous row. So how to get that? We can get using uh, result itself. Result dot get of result dot size minus 1. So whatever the result sizes, we have to minus one, and we can get the previous row like this. Then we are creating a new list under this for loop itself, because we need new rows which are the new values itself altogether in that list. So I'm creating a new row. I will name that as next rows is equal to new array list. Okay. Now I will try to add element in that new row. So the next rows dot add. So always the first element will be one for all the rows. You can see the first element is always one for all the rows, and the last element is also always one. The first element we have added one, then we have to add the middle element. So I'm trying to again create a for loop, going to define j is equal to 1, and j is less than I, j plus plus. So why I'm defining this as j is equal to 1 is because base case we already have found. So from 1 we have to iterate, and j is less than I is, if I is equal to 1, then we don't need the elements. Directly we can add this one, and we can end this by next rows dot add 1, and we can add the final next rows to the list of list which we have, result dot add next rows. Okay, but when I is equal to 3, what will happen? When I is equal to 3, it will try to get the previous row, which is the list of integer which has 1 and 1. So the previous row will have 1 comma 1, and it will start from 1, and it will iterate one time. So for iterating one time, what we can do, we can populate the next rows by summing up the previous row values. So how to sum up the previous row? We already have the previous row. Previous row dot get of j plus previous row of get of j plus not plus j. Yeah, it's j plus 1 actually. So this is something which will give you the previous row values. So I guess it should be j minus 1, because j is 1, and j minus 1 is 1 minus 1, which is 0. So let's see whether this is working. I am going to return the result. Yeah, it's accepted. Let's submit it. Yeah, that's it. So this is we have the runtime beats 82%, and memory still we can improve. Okay, this is how you can solve the Pascal triangle using dynamic programming approach. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you.